Hunters already trying to make their way over to the point. They're just trying to find the skirmishes, but it's going to be the Hunters who find Mandu here, and that's a great start considering the Charge now. They wanted to get that position advantage, and unfortunately, they're going to get booted out of that.
Wow, that was
Rio, who's going to take a lot of that damage because of this Discord orb, but it's going to be Leave with the Pulse Bomb. Choice of one, putting in some pressure onto Tarakuki in the back, but the fact that they've lost Rio here could spell doom. Now Krong's demeched, and that's going to have to be another reset here, considering that we have the Hunters now trying to take their way, and it's Nisha with the Valkyrie. They get the res, and I love the way that we're currently seeing the Hunters play so aggressively. Not only did they win that first team fight, but now they've been able to waste so Ascendance for this fight. Gets the hack anyways, but you currently have Legion, who's right there to help peel for far away. Nisha's out, and they're so fixated on the backline. Amen now being able to get the minefield, try to block this rotation from the Charge. Eileen still holding on to that pulse bomb. They've lost Prong and Choice of One, and they're still going to be able to pull the trigger on it, but they didn't isolate far away, and that was the crucial key here, because now the Hunters are going to stay in this fight, and it's already overtime, Jaws.
Yeah, OT's ticking down as well. A perfectly timed Transcendence from far away. It looked like the Charge sometimes than you expect coming out from such a stout character.
Especially when you have to also deal with the Discord.
What a right
Rio
click.
got
That was
annihilated,
dirty.
and so did Faraway too. Yeah, Faraway making sure Eileen is just not in this fight, being able to get that charge on those orbs. Now, you can see how confident they're playing now, Josh. Look how far up they're filled, and the Coalescence. Late Young gets demeched. Choice of One finds the Pulse Bomb. Now it's the opportunity for the Charge to take control over this point. The Transcendence from far away is going to keep the rest of Hunters sustained, but it's not going to be for long. They're dropping, and they're dropping quick. Look at this pressure, and now the Sound Barrier is going to keep the Charge in this fight, but they have to deal with the Molten Core, and the Sound Barrier is already done.
Yeah, the soundbar
Ability for the rest of the Hunters. Tarakuki has that Deadeye. You want to look out for that, but it's a Primal coming in from Rio, finding Leave and Nisha, isolating everybody in that room. Now it's Tarakuki's turn, but he doesn't want to overextend here. He already got 3 from the Hunters. And
Eileen's going to have a pretty free EMP. That is a very cheeky flank.
Ooh, and he found Faraway too right at the same time. That was an amazing engagement from the EMP, followed up by the Charge. They're trying to make sure that they get this gap.
A very early Coalescence. They're diving straight into the back line.
Yeah, the Coalescence now going to help enable this dive, keep Rio up alive. Choice of One popping up with a 3K. Okay, we got our eyes on you, Choice of One. They're going to be able to take control over this point, but somebody's contesting here. They almost copped. They almost were able to take that point. Not for long, though. There's nobody else trickling in. They're trying their best to stay alive, but they do take that second point.
Going for the hack, and then you're basically useless. This should be the 3K. Oh, it was just him finishing a couple of people up after all that damage. Still looks fancy regardless. Ooh, Nisha bonked on the head. He's going to be feeling that one tomorrow.
Thanks to Ameng, who was actually able to get on that backline far away, finding Rio. He's not going to be able to do much to create any space. Crib took a lot of damage too. The point is going to go in favor for the Hunters first. They're going to have to regroup here as the Charge. They're going to back off.
And they make their engage.
And Rio is the first one to die in that engagement. Choice One unleashes the Pulse Bomb, finds Nisha though with the melee, now popping off, finding Tarakuki. Great look here as the Hunters, despite losing 3 of these, it's going to be Choice of One who wants to try to take control over this point. Crib leading the way for the rest of the Charge to get that flip. They need to contest quickly though, Jaws, because you see the extension with this lead from the Hunters and nearly already at 50%.
Choice of One's got his game face on right now. He's had so many individual kills. They're forced to actually pop the rally to try and do something about this fight. Nisha giving everybody a hold.
They're diving him. The Transcendence now is unleashed. That was amazing timing too. He saw Rio, he saw that Rio had blood in his eyes, and he knew that he had to pop that Transcendence there. Jaws, Choice of One, still unstoppable by the way. He's been able to literally tear through the Hunters, but the fact is they haven't been able to flip this point.
No, they haven't. Now Faraway is in trouble though. They're still being juggled on this point. They need to get on. Lei Young has that self-destruct. He sends it out. Choice of One kills the pilot Diva, and he is still alive and kicking in at this point as reinforcements arrive for the charge.
Oh, that timing with the recall too, not only to avoid the Diva Bomb, but to also make sure that Lei Young won't be in this fight.
Trying to distract the support. Self-destruct gets thrown in, and Krong kills 2 instantly. That'll be the end of the team fight here as Hunters have to retreat. They've got no choice really. They're lucky they've got OT. Annoying the 7th man on the field. The true summoner, that is the Torbjorn. Nice EMP, lands on 2.
Yeah, hits Tarakuki and Nisha. Taro's gonna go down without using that Deadeye. Choice of One has been harassed missing this backline. It's insane, actually. The fact that he already has a pulse bomb on after just having it, misses that sticky. That's big because Nisha is going to be able to build into this rally. Now the minefield coming in. Among just trying to get into position. No one touches the point. The molten core creating so much space. The Hunter
from Kariv. Is he going to be able to find too much? I can't imagine so. There's the rocket barrage instantly killing off him. Killing him off.
Kariv too, yeah, just in front of the window too. Kariv is out, and that just leaves Mondu with the sustainability. But without this sound barrier, it's gonna be so difficult. The anti-2 choice one with the blizzard kill onto Gaga. Eileen now putting in a lot of pressure. As Nisha's here, they will be able to have the res. But for how long can Jinmu get away with this? Now that Eileen won't be here, it's just really up to Kariv to do it.
Monk can solo push the payload. 6-man EMP though.
Oh, finding 6. That's absolutely huge. Choice one's not even in this fight anymore as Elsa dives in, takes him out as the first one in this fight. I like the sustainability that we're seeing from the Charge. They're forced to disengage. You guys have to be careful taking some pressure here. Jinmu has that rocket barrage, finds the turret hit onto Moundu. Okay. Choice one also finding Monk. They trade supports here. Kariv wants to build into this coalescence, but you won't have the opportunity when Jinmu again is uncontested and dealing so much pressure. Even use the minefields just yet. Gets out in time. Look at this. Jinmu now being able to have impact on the Reaper swap, but Choice One is still terrorizing the Hunter's backline.
Yeah, terrorizing indeed. Nisha goes down, lead to follow as well. Should be almost a win here for the Charge, you feel? Especially with the supports falling. Yep. There you go. Oh, sorry, the Hunters, sorry, with the Hunters even, sorry. Of course, they now complete point number 2. 2 minutes on the board as well.
Eileen gets out of that situation. They didn't get much off of this. It's going to be Lee who gets Kariv, and the Death Blossom has been unleashed from Jinmu. They lost Gaga in that fight, but the Transcendence is going to keep the Hunters rolling, control this next corner, and look at Jinmu's positioning. He's hanging out by their spawn. He wants to isolate Choice One, and he gets him still in the process. There's no fun zone. No fun zone if you're Kariv. Meanwhile, Jinmu jumping in from the skies. Rio goes down. Won't even be able to build a shatter for this potential last fight. Krong is trying to hang on to this point, gets the Diva Bomb pick onto Nisha. The Mortality Field actually helped keep the Charge on this point uncontested. Currently, the Hunters, Jinmu's still unstoppable. No one stopped Jinmu, whether it be on the Far or on the Reaper. He's still terrorizing at their spawn. These Discord Orbs, too, don't make it any better. The may not be enough here. Look how much damage Gaga and Elsa are taking, but look at the disengagement, too. They're just trying to get an angle, but they gotta touch the point. They want to get anything going. Lee finds that pick off the Choice One, and then the EMP was the weight that they needed here. The Hunters now re-engaging. Leave getting another pick. They trade that for Leave as Kariv finds him. Rio has a Primal, and he's going to be able to pop it here. Jaws, the Charger try to hold on to this point for as long as possible, but I can't believe the Hunters have actually been able to come back from this.
Yeah, the rally's going off as well, so there's no way you're going to be able to kill the front line or the back line of the Hunters. Yes, somehow, some way, they managed to survive. 1 minute and 40 seconds does remain, though, for the Charge. They have an EMP and a grab of their own.
Trying to dive in. Choice One trying to get a follow-up. The grab coming in. Fight 4 looks. Kariv is the first one to go down before even utilizing the Nano Boost. Rio gets hacked, and Monk with the Transcendence is going to keep the rest of the Hunters alive here, Jaws. And once again, the Hunters, with their positioning, they've been able to essentially sandwich the Charge. Their disengagements and then their re-engagements have helped them out in these last 2 opportunities for the Charge now to make their way over. The Hunters, they're retreating, and Gaga getting 2 with no support. It's looking grim here for the Charge.
Yeah, Eileen needs to touch. She does manage to get it as Rio comes back in.
Oh, Chisuwan, not in this fight. Nobody here to touch the Tracer won't be there. The ball won't be there. And the Hunters now have taken another.
Just destroying your front line.
Also, being able to get to these high ground places is crucial. Jinmu getting that fall from the Discord Orb onto Eileen. Eileen goes down, and so does Mondu. And look at this position from the Hunters. They're being lethal. The Charge, they really can't do anything. They can't even control this corner. Lee takes a lot of damage. Oh, he contested that for a long time. You saw the attempt from Elsa to try to some of these ultimates on the Bob. The EMP big now EMP. Coming in from Jinmu. That's huge because now Leave is going to charge all the way in. The rally 2 from Nisha. That's going to give armor over to the Hunters. Now they can push all the way up here, Jaws. They're being so aggressive, but they were able to get Elsa out of the mech, and the Bob's going to finish off the job. Hacked here too. The Immortality Field already used up by Kariv. Kariv gets out of this fight as Monk finding so much damage coming in, but talking about damage here, Jaws. Mondu making sure that Flail is going to keep Leave out of this fight. That's 3 down for the Hunters. The Charge have been able to regain control over this point, but they have to clean up around Gaga if they want to see any success in catching that first point.
On the side, so they're basically waiting for this door to close before they go for this engagement. Created space though with a window.
Ooh, the 5-man EMP. Eileen's out and so's Kariv. Meanwhile, Kronk's taking a lot of damage. Nisha finding 3, gets that 3K. That's a great...
Down, there's the bomb. Supercharger comes out as well. Gaga evaporates.
Ooh. Yeah, Gaga got hit by everything right there. Although Gaga still pulled the trigger on the minefield at least. The rally now from Nisha trying to help keep the Hunters up, but with Gaga now having to come back from the spawn and Elsa going down, they're going to have to reposition. Choice-a-Wan is going to unleash the Fury, and the Charge are going to have a lot of that space to work with in this next corner. Online, Mandu with the rally is going to allow the rest of the Charge to pull all the way up. With that armor now, Choice-a-Wan now trying to get into position. Doesn't have the armor, but is going to be able to come in from the high ground. They're just trying to isolate some of the Hunters. They're dropping like flies here, Chaz. Choice-a-Wan doesn't even have to utilize that pulse bomb because they've already gotten the second point.
Yeah, there you go.
The rally, is it enough here to keep the Hunters alive? They're not engaging here because they've lost Monk. They trade that for Krong. And the Hunters are taking too much damage here. Despite losing Mandu and Kariv, though, Leave is popping up. He gets a 3K. The fact that Leave still was able to get a huge impact there, finding the support lineup of the Charge, has just flipped this back into the Hunters' favor. Choice-a-Wan trying to get into position. Look at this angle now that the Hunters are taking. They're trying to get behind, but no one's there. They're not on the point.
Are you kidding?
The Charge? No way.
No.
Up here from the Charge, you can see the Hunters just trying to take a different position, trying to take them off of the high ground. The Charge are trying to keep that pressure on. Elsa taking care of the Bob. Gaga with the minefields though, and it finds Rio. Meanwhile, Nisha's been getting these safe reses, and no one stopped Nisha just yet. Monk dies with the Transcendence and this Gravitic Flux, sending everybody up, sending Eileen down back to the spawn. Krong trades that for Gaga, the Diva Bomb actually finding him in a line of sight. The way now that the Charge are still trying to contest on this payload isn't going to last for long because the Hunters have now taken the driver's seat on the payload.
I'll have to double check on the replay, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy just hit a 0-man EMP. Maybe he hit Kariv and instantly killed Kariv, but it looked like a 0-man EMP on my screen when I briefly looked at it.
The Rio attacked twice? Oh, Rio can't catch a break. He was disordered that entire time, and Jinmu hacked him twice back to back. He needed some help, and no one was there. Now, you currently have the Hunters winning in having the advantage, having the number advantage, and Monk is popping off. You talk about the Zenyatta and the amount of damage coming out, Jaws. I mean, not only is Monk single-handedly doing that, but he also has that sustainability and that damage boost from uses Transcendence now to keep the rest of the Charge in this fight. Elsa now with the Gravitic Flux, and pressuring everyone back. Now they have some clear space to move this payload, and it's up to Real to stay alive. He won't be in this fight, and the Hunters want to clean this up. It's going to be a 3-0 for the Hunters, and they're going to be moving on after cleaning the Charge up.
Oh boy, the Charge looks so good on their offense as well, but the Hunters just bite back with such ferocity. Their first point, little bit shaky. Second and third, don't worry about it. My word. Monk is just a solo carry on the Zenyatta. Nisha too. The backline for the Hunters just seems to level up every single year. Just insane showing from them.